Welcome back. Thanks for joining me again for another episode here in Bytown. Last time out, we did start a national nature forest or nature reserve area, as well as just over the right there, you can see the historical church. And today we have plans. Now, I will mention, since I've built the nature reserve across the river, I have changed my plans for what's going to be here, although I reserve the right to change my mind again. I had originally planned to build some commercial here, but given the fact that we have here all these campsites and all this here, I don't really think staring off onto a back of a commercial development is that pleasant. So I'm probably going to make this area a city park instead that will run along the riverfront. But that's not what we're doing today. We back out here, we're going to come over here and we're going to start developing this area. Now we have a collector started, but we will not be actually conducting the build right off of these two collectors. We're going to reserve an area for a hospital district, which will come likely the next episode or shortly thereafter. I think we might have to do something in between that. So let's get out of this here. Now, before we do get started, we have to, sorry guys. We have to deal with the impact of a new mod. So I did recently put in this particular tree anarchy mod, and hey, congratulations, we're now level 2. Woo! We won't be placing any of these things here today, but it's good to know. And if I can figure out a better name than the Barlow Trail, we will come back and update that later. I have something in mind. If you guys have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments. But as you can see here, this new mod has popped the trees up. So I'm gonna have to go through, it's a number of areas, and I wish it was just here, but it's not. As if we come up here, you'll see it's here. You'll see it's here, here, along here. So basically along our entire old road networks. So let me just get rid of those and we will be right back. With that done for now, I do need to come in and, let's get rid of him too. There is some work to do within the central experimental farm, as you can see. But I'm gonna come back and do those later. We'll get those. So what are the plans? So the plans, as mentioned, I'm gonna start building some more residential. Now we're not gonna be doing single family homes. We're going to start building some higher density residential, some I'm going to call low-rise condo, low-rise apartments. We're not going to transition yet to high towers or high apartment buildings, high condo buildings. So we do need to get our road network started. And we will be building off here. Now, if you notice my collector I have coming straight off here. Can't keep really going straight, nor do I want to because of the river. So we are going to actually start bending this. Nice little curve. And then we'll curve this back up this way for now. Not 100% certain how I'm going to develop this area yet, but we'll get to it. Now, the next thing that we need to do is come and build. I'm going to start reserving the area for the hospital district. Oh, we have a wayward mod. You come down there. So we're going to come off of this road here. Now this is going to be part of the outer portion. Come over here and we'll build this one straight off as well. Take a curve road tool. No, I need to back that up a little more. So hang on. We will continue this one. That is not perfectly straight. There we go. And that was even worse than before. So let me... There we go. So this area in here, mark it off, is going to be our hospital district. Now the only road I'm really going to start putting in here is this one here. So that's where we're going to start. Now this entire area will be the hospital district. You know, I might move some things around as we go, including those fallen trees. Let's get rid of these. In fact, since I'm going to be building in this this area here, let me go through and get rid of all these annoying trees. Okay, in fact, I just decided to remove all the trees in the area. Well, we'll go back and plant some more. So these guys just keep popping out of nowhere. There we go. Our plan in this area is actually quite simple. We're going to build a little condo community, condo apartment community. And let me show you, we're going to primarily start with 2 assets and use them repeatedly in this area. So these I downloaded from the workshop. So I'm going to be doing them in pairs of 2. Now I have the option of putting, as you can see, these areas on the outside or put together. I think we'll mix it up and we will do both. So just look at the residential demand. It's quite big. Now, the other thing I do want to do is there's a reason why I put this road here. This road is actually going to continue up. This is going to be quite, parallel road. We're going to make sure these are both at the same height. Same with these 2. So we will start, actually, we'll get all our water up here. So let me put these in and be right back. So what we're going to do is we are going to move these right up against the road here. And before we place their neighbors, we're going to come in and we will be putting some parking behind here. Move these down. In fact, I think what we will is we'll move these to the edge of the parking lot. I do want to leave some room for trees. We did basically remove an entire forest. And the next thing I want to do is move this here. And I want a path connection. That's going to give us a bit of a sense as to where to go. And now I can move the parking lot. And before we put in the road, what we're going to do, because we do need to connect the parking lot, we're going to copy. And now we've got a spot where we're going to put our drive road. Let's move these just a tad. Now from here, we will connect a road, comes right across. And in between, so we're gonna actually copy and move all of this. And in fact, let's just see if I can, before we get to copying, there we go. It's a lot better. We'll come back in and put in the parking spaces later. But between these, at least these units, I do want to grab park. Make everyone happy. And actually, before we get everyone too upset, we're going to grab temporary power lines. The other thing we're going to do, just so we can deal with some of the low land values, because these are level 4 units. And if you can look, healthcare, which will get improved as soon as we put the hospital in here. We have very little police and fire coverage in the area. There will be a school going in, at least an elementary school going in this area. So I will just temporarily place fire and police services in the area just to deal with the land values, because you can see these will go derelict due to the low land values, which I can just reset and we can fix that up. So with all these selected, we're going to come over and we are going to replicate that right over here. And we'll just see if all that caught. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So we will have to come in with our drive road and connect that here. There we go. Now the other thing, we are going to pull that and try to center this, but also pull it a bit away from the road, so it's not right up against it. We'll put some paths to connect everything around here. But our next step is to kind of replicate what we have. So let's go in and basically copy all this, and we're going to repeat this 3 times. Now that we have all this replicated, we are going to come into the center here, delete this park, which will make some people upset. But we're going to come in and do a few things here. So first off, we will put a park back, and I do want the large playground going right across. We're going to come in and we will put in a small parking lot to then back up our school onto. So if we come here, we can then put our school, and I think this one, the community school, I really love this asset. We'll put that one there. So we've got a one-way road in, coming in each, allow us in and out. Now, as you can tell, we are just dealing, I turned off the notifications, but these have become abandoned. This, I have tested this. This does get approved pretty quickly, but we will just come in and reset these. So now that we have all those in here, we do need to connect pass, so there's continuous pass, as well as pass here, but we'll get to that in a few moments. You know, even connecting the pass to the playgrounds and all along here. So those will all get done. But I do want to come over here. Now these are here temporarily for now, but they're not in the way of what I want to do. I am reserving this area for something else. But we do need to run a road. Thought I got rid of all of them. Okay, those are gone now. As you can see, I'm just suffering from low land value. It's not from demand. But speaking of demand, I'm happy to see some industrial demand. It's been a long time since I've seen that. So it does mean, excitingly enough, some builds. Now, we're using the industry DLC. I have an idea what I want to do for the first one. But we'll hold back on that as a surprise. But that is coming. Now, I will want, even though we're going to have a big hospital, we do need to put in here some elder care. And I think it'd be very fitting to put one close to the river so that they can see it. And let's add in, once again, some parking. So in fact, one of the things I think will help with the low land value is this, but also tree-lined streets. So let's upgrade all the streets in this neighborhood, and then we'll use the ability to change these trees to something out of the content creators pack. And let's see if that deals with our abandonment issues. As you can see, even though we've had abandonment issues, the folks in this residence are quite happy, which is good. So I think that did help, but let's also take advantage of some other services that are needed. And that is the child healthcare. Or child healthcare center. Place that there, and we will see if we can sneak in a small park. We can. Oh, that's not the one we want. So I think actually I was going to add some parking in, but I don't think we're going to need a lot of parking. And I do love the synergies between having this elder care next to the child care. You know, I do see the possibility of kids coming over, seeing, entertaining and making the grandparents or the elder folks here quite happy. And then we do have a small playground, so which expands upon what's here. So I will come back and detail that out in a little later. But things are shaping up quite well, except for one pesky building that is not happy. Oh, and now they're happy. Yay! So we have a great condo development. It has dealt with a lot of our residential demand, which is excellent. But we're not done yet. Now, eventually I will put some residences here, not at the moment. But I do want to take and put one more condo building in this area. In fact, let's see if I can actually place a second one and turn it. It is remaining happy. But that being said, it's not going to leave much room for parking. But what if I pull this one down? Whoa. Things happened. So as you just saw, I was able to find some more of these Tennessee street apartments. There's the main ones here, which is the corner units, which I've rotated one. And then these apartment B, which are the more center ones. In fact, what you can see is I can probably take the opportunity of running a path through here at some point. So before we put a parking lot in the back, because, you know, I love my parking lots, we're just going to make sure all these are at the same height. And I think that's going to make things look a little better. Now, the other thing we will do is we will run a nice large parking lot in the back right off of this road here. And we will grab it and we will move this one down. Just move this one back a bit. I think I got some height issues to deal with here. The terrain I did not flatten. So I think before we finish off that area, I will raise it up. Now I actually don't mind because it's very subtle here. But as I come through here, just the way the parking lot assets work, they need to be flat. I will raise up this entire area to match the same height. Then what we will do is we will add the parking stalls in. I will put some paths, connect everything up. And then we'll add some trees, but we're very close to wrapping this one up because I've accomplished my main goal. I've added some higher density. Now, I will say personally, this is the type of density I love, that 4 to 6 to maybe even 8-story style buildings, you know, 10, 12 have their places, but I'm not a huge fan of the big, tall skyscraper type apartments, you know, 40 stories, which we do have one here in Ottawa. Not a huge fan of. But yeah, let me get at this, adjust that, and let's get into a detailing time lapse. So this neighborhood's looking pretty good right now. As you can see, we have a nice elementary school in the middle. However, one of the things that is missing in this neighborhood is access to a high school. So at the moment, I don't want to look at adding one in because just not there yet. However, I do want to make sure I have easy access. You know, citizens in the City Skylines do tend to walk great distances, but you know, we have options. In fact, we have an option that we have not yet used. Episode or so ago, we did add in a bus depot, and we did not set up any bus lines. So that is something we are going to do here to make sure that citizens have, you know, relatively easy access instead of having to walk everywhere. And of course, having access to public transit helps with citizens' happiness, which then increases land values, and that is overall good for the city. So I'm going to place one here, and you know, I'm just going to kind of go every block or so. Now down here, I might just given, you know, we've got a few different services here, such as this elder care facility, and you know, this larger condo complex come along. Just need to make sure I place it so I get them the route going where I want. Now, as I want it to kind of loop around, just put one stop here, but basically one by the high school, and then we'll come right back. Now, we will just loop around, make sure we're providing access on this side. Oops, got a little problem there. Just gotta get, there we go. So once again, you know, every other block or so, make sure that, you know, bus, very, you know, for better for worse, have relatively close stops. So I think the other thing I'm going to do is do another route. Not 100% sure. I'm just going to go in the opposite direction, whether this is 100% necessary or not. So I will have a look at the lines after they get going to see whether this is, you know, something that is actually beneficial to the residents of trying to get to and from the high school, which is basically what this route is. It's basically a dedicated school bus route. So let me just finish that up, and we'll be done here in a second. So I'm just going to name these routes here. Added a district for here, so I could actually just have it for now to know which route this is. You know, if you do have any naming suggestions for this area, please do let me know, and we can come back in and put these lines in. You know, so I'll just do one counterclockwise, one clockwise, and we can keep an eye on the number of passengers and monitor the vehicles and actually see if both routes are actually necessary as they are currently set up. So no, you know, there's some people starting to use it as the game recognizes the fact that these routes are here. You know, just dial back the number of buses here for the moment to kind of see if they're necessary. How many buses are actually necessary. You know, that's the nice thing, and it's just kind of come in and, you know, just play with the number of buses that we think we need, and we can go from there. Things are looking pretty good here. We have some happiness. Things have been resolved. Now our garbage collection is in need of some work. So we are definitely going to have to look at dealing with that in the near future because as the city grows, we need to make sure our city services are keeping up. So with that said, you know, I do want to thank you very much for watching. You know, just remind you, we do have a hospital bill to work on in the near future. You know, but we've got a nice low-level thing. You know, look at here, probably putting a city park, as I mentioned, as opposed to some commercial development. I said, I reserve my right to change my mind once again, but I think that's where we're leaning. You know, nice with a nice national reserve or park, nature park right across the river. Looks pretty nice.